I've been amusing people in my own magical way.
I just did that legitimate thing where you try and put a USB in and go, no, that's wrong. But then you turn it over and go, no, wait, that's also wrong. Scan and fix, no. Charlotte, Liz. Hey, here it is. Someone's taken a souvenir. Either that or my crotch absorbed one of you. It's like that. It's like Sarlacc from Star Wars. I'm doing a remake of Teeth. Half the room got it. Right, we have a panel now. The dark side of cosplay. Welcome to the support group. Right, basically, a bunch of stuff's going to come up on this screen, and then we're going to have a whinge about it. Everyone cool with that? If a topic comes up that someone wants to whinge about, or suggest a way to get around it, please feel free, because it's less work for us. Right, point one, unsupported friends and family. Who here has had a friend or a family member go, that thing that you're doing is weird, don't do it? Who hasn't had that happen?
I have.
These are the people we lynch. These are the people who really get it easy. Who here has honestly thought, I might quit cosplay because of things that friends or family have said to them? These are the people we don't want to lynch, we want to hug them and go, good job at keeping going. Did you put your hand up, Charlotte? Oh. I like how he goes to hug her, I don't, she's my sister. Well, fine. Oh dear, please stop. So, yeah, this is one of the biggest things that we find tends to put people off cosplay. Jack and I do the whole sort of getting Tumblr asked things, and it's one of the things we get a hell of a lot is people saying, my mum wants me to quit, my dad doesn't understand it, they threaten to sort of cut me off if I don't stop doing it. It's a thing that happens. Parents think it's weird, and parents don't want their kids to be weird. Not because they dislike you and they go, well, maybe they do, I don't know, parents, maybe they hate you. But generally it's because parents want their kids to have an easy life, and when they see you doing something that they think you'll get picked on for, their head goes to this place of, well, I need to stop this, they're doing something that's dangerous to them, let's stop it. How dare you? That's generally where it comes from. How to get around it? Involve them in what you're doing. Can you guys stop? Involve them in what you're doing. Actually explain to them what cosplay is. Most parents don't get it. They see it as just some weird sort of fancy dress fetish thing in a lot of cases. And when you see the amount of leather people go around wearing, it's not surprising. When we were driving to the convention yesterday and we saw people walking down the road in cosplay, we were like, we can see why people find this weird. It kind of is. There's a guy going along there and he's got like things painted around his nipples. I don't know. It was a little bit strange, and if you throw that on your parents and suddenly you're walking around in a full fursuit, yeah, they're going to think it's a bit odd. As you've probably done. Your mum wears it. It takes all types to make a world. No, that's cool! I'd love that! McGonagall. We want my mum to be McGonagall. Yes, hello.
People at my work always giggle whenever I tell them about a convention or something, but I didn't realise why they giggled until I explained them. They thought I was going to a bondage convention.
Did you bother correcting them? No. Fair enough. Whereas at my work, because I get all my cosplay stuff delivered to work, because it's easier than having to recollect it from the post office, when I got my portal gun through, all the guys were like, what's that? It's a portal gun. Can we play with it? Not because they had any clue what it was, they just wanted to take bits of it apart and see how it worked. That's the sort of people I work with. What, with a portal gun? It's a bomb! Oh shit, I'm not allowed to say that word out loud, am I? I think it causes some sort of terror alert to start.
I got 2 pistols and a sword delivered to the thing, and a customer seen it and called the police.
We had a chap arrested in London once because he was walking around with a plastic kunai, and someone reported him to the police saying he had knives. We didn't mind too much because he kind of chased Laura around for a little while trying to ask her out. She went and hid in the train station. Yes, at the back.
I had a group of friends told me that we're going to cosplay with me. So I made a cosplay that I, in the beginning, didn't want to do. Because my friend took the cosplay I wanted to do. And they all dropped out.
God, what a bunch of douchebags. Let's go find them, come on. Here's another one. Who thinks they cosplayed a character that they don't actually suit? And who felt really bad whilst doing it because of that reason? Yeah. This is another real common one. Jack and I, the most common ones we seem to get messages about are, I think I'm too fat to cosplay X. It seems that weight is almost always the reason people get put off doing it. You're being a cartoon character. In the case of anime, these people physically do not have proportions that are achievable by a healthy human body. Or even an unhealthy human body in some places. Especially if you've got the Kellyjane thing going on. Ain't no human. No, Mar has largish hands. She has human representation of yaoi hands, but not actual yaoi hands. Because seriously, they're like the size of a leg. And characters with waists that are the same sort of width as legs and all this sort of stuff. At the end of the day, even if you do look damn good as a character, you're very rarely going to be perfect as them. And no one is. And you shouldn't judge anyone, obviously, by how perfect their costume is. For us, it becomes a case of we do it as a gang. And even if some of us don't entirely suit our cosplays, we don't care because we're doing it as a group and we're having fun doing it. That's usually our way of... So inspirational! Generally that's how we get around everything, is because we're having fun in our own gang doing it, we don't care what anyone else thinks. And that's what we tend to tell other people too. Find a gang of people that you enjoy hanging out with. Not just enjoy cosplaying, but actually enjoy being around. And do it with them, because they won't care if you suit the character, and if they don't care, suddenly you find you care significantly less as well. Other friends cosplaying the same character. It shouldn't be you, because it doesn't actually matter. Once again, you're not actually Tony Stark, you're not actually Naruto. Connor, you're not actually Peter Parker. Connor, Peter Parker can run for more than like 2 minutes without and he can climb walls, but that's beside the point. This is another thing of, this is why we always say to try and do cosplay with friends, because when it's your friend doing it, you find yourself getting far less pissed off about these things. Is it worth getting annoyed with one of your friends because they want to cosplay the same thing you're doing? Generally, no. When we get together, we kind of have sort of set things that each of us do now. We kind of already know when a fandom comes forward who is who, so it works out very well from us. But we get a lot of crossovers, like Jasmine and I both like Tony Stark. So it happens. Jack always gets the mentally disabled ones, basically. Like people who are murderers, or cannibals, or murderous cannibals, or foreign. Just anyone with some sort of mental thing going on is Jack. Sammy always gets the cute ones, Charlotte always gets the slightly odd ones, like Thor. That's just how we roll. So yeah, it's not worth getting obviously stressed out over. No groups to join, we don't have this problem, but does anyone else ever find that they want to do a costume, no one else wants to do it with them? Oh, you poor people. Sucks to be you. This is where forums come in. Forums are bloody great for trying to find other people doing costumes. And if not, we've managed to make friends at cons because we've turned up in costumes and then latched on to other people that we found at the con. Our very first MetroCon, we made a friend there who has since come back to England to sort of hang out with us on occasion. And it was literally because we didn't know anyone else. And then we saw a Roxas cosplayer and we were in Kingdom Hearts and we were like, oh God, look after us. Please don't leave us. You're a native Floridian. You know the language. And it works. you just get people, and not even if they're in a costume, they could just be a fan of what you're doing. Jack's had people come up to him as Rincewind when he thought no one would recognise who he is. And the second that thing happens, you're suddenly like, we have a common interest, and that's where friendships begin. That's how most of us ended up meeting, was through doing similar cosplays to each other. Or I kind of went, you're cool. Come here. I wasn't pointing at you specifically, Connor, because for you it's just you didn't leave. But yeah, we can't. He's kind of the charity case now. Money! Who has loads of money?
Money.
Put your hand up, Laura. You know it's true. You're lying. Deadpool got no money. He spends it all on tacos. But no, money, the eternal issue. Make sure to prioritise, because obviously a lot of us are students or don't make a lot of money at work or are spending most of our money on rent and the other things that you need for life. As great as cosplay is, it kind of doesn't take precedent over food. In my case, it doesn't take precedent over internet. If I had to choose between cosplay or internet, well, porn. Video games. In Jack's case, Tumblr. Tumblr and my gallery for Jack. We know your username now. It's terrible. Ask him later and see if he'll tell you. Yeah. We found out over the years that cosplay actually can be done very cheaply if you spend the time making it cheap. You might not be able to get everything at the exact moment you want it, but if you spend long enough trawling eBay and charity shops and going up to like, if you ever need leather, find an upholstery store, people who sort of make and repair sofas, and beg them. They will have sacks of offcuts of leather. I've still got, I think, like 3 bin bags full of leather in our LARP room, just waiting for something to be made of it, because they have tons of it. And if they don't give it to you for free, they'll give it to you for next to nothing. So as long as you're willing to spend the time, it can be done cheaply, and you can make amazing costumes for next to nothing. So anybody know a cosplayer called Ragemore Roberts? I've seen a few nods. She's a good friend of ours. She's one of the big believers, if I can't do it cheap, then I'm doing it wrong. She makes things out of, she's made amazing stuff out of pizza boxes. And this sort of thing. Yeah, she made was that for her or for her girlfriend? I can't remember. She made a jacket with a design on the back, and the design was created entirely out of gold and silver safety pins, and it looked incredible. It can be done cheaply, you just have to accept, well, I might not have my cosplay done in a week. I've got to spend time finding all these things, but it can be done.
Car boot sales are a
I love
gold mine.
I love cheap things.